This talk is brought to you by the Bamberg Mathematical Consciousness Science Initiative.
Cool. So thank you very much. First of all, to all of the organizers and to the participants, both locally and online. So here's my short lightning talk on the research I have done so far, and I'll say a little bit about the research that I'll be doing. So I'm working with definitions of consciousness. This is the one you all know from Dave Chalmers and Thomas Metzinger's book. The special case thereof, which is Christoph Koch's definition that's often being cited. And what I'm interested in is the question of how this definition is being measured. How do we find the NCC empirically that we set out to find with this definition or other definitions by Sasha and others? And as you know, currently there are two main approaches. You can either use contrastive analysis or you can use decoding. And in the paper that I submitted last year on that topic, I focused on contrastive analysis. And the starting point of the whole development is the fact, in my view, that the contrastive analysis, the linear regression model that's being used in the majority of studies today is not suitable to find something that is singled out by minimality, a mapping requirement, and a sufficiency requirement. It's just not the sort of thing, just not the sort of thing that contrastive analysis finds. So my work then focuses on the question of how you can actually find what is being defined in the definition. And I've come up with a methodology to do that. That's really sort of on the first part, a logical analysis of this definition. And that gives you a sort of computing pipeline that you could implement based on the data you have or based on also other data that's a bit more general. I call it co-activation data. And generally speaking, this is sort of the data that you usually measure when you try to measure NCCs. This is maybe of interest because it makes some things easier, because it's actually a tool to measure what you want to measure, but it's also maybe of interest because it helps you with this notorious confounder problem, not by improved experimental design, but by changing the mathematics and therefore changing one of the two origins, if you want, causes of the confounder problem. What I also tried to do is I tried to somehow make this applicable in practice. What I had on the other slide was really just formal theorems that you could implement. But there's still a bit of work to do in specifying the likelihood functions between, let's say, the neural state of interest or neural system of interest and the data. And so what I did here is I tried to develop a statistics to go, which you could literally implement tomorrow based on the results I had on the mathematical logic part. And I won't go into details, of course. You can read this in the paper if you're interested. But this is another way you could measure NCCs that would target the system under consideration. And it has a few advantages. For example, the error rates are not bound by the number of voxels. And you can actually work with any choice of state of consciousness. You don't have to only use two. You could ignore the state of not seeing or no experience. And what you could even do in addition, you could work with states like from meditation research and for example, psychometrics. And yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Thanks very much. If anyone wanted to know more, the Models of Consciousness 6 talks just came online 2 weeks ago. So here's the one where I explain this in a bit more detail. And yeah, thank you again.